Yo, 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 yo. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Deandra.
And we are pulling our handicap card. Today we're going to talk about, sorry mom, sorry Ting Ting, but we're going to talk about a question that we are frequently asked. You want to say it?
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're going to talk about it because we get asked this question all the time.
So I wonder where it comes from. Like, I wonder why people equate having a disability to not having sex.
I have no idea, but let's just jump right into it since the people want to know so bad.
I mean, obviously the answer is yes, but I mean, I don't understand like the background, like why wouldn't people with disabilities have sex? We don't live in boxes just because we have a disability. I mean, we like to have fun too.
I mean, and you're fully functioning human beings as well. I mean, obviously we know that being disabled, you know, means that there may be some functions or, parts of life that are different for you, but that does not mean that everybody who has a disability cannot have sex. I mean, I'm like you, I don't know or understand where the question comes from, but more so the audacity to even ask, why does it matter? Like, that's what I want to know. Can y'all help me understand in the comment box or something? Help me understand why.
Before, when I was doing my own YouTube page, this was like a common question that I got. And you remember I showed you receipts of it. Mm-hmm. So it was just like, I was just mind blown. Like, I don't know. And maybe it is a thing with, people with disabilities not, being able to have sex. But it's just kind of, it's weird to me, like why is that a thing?
And I'm so glad he had the receipts to show me, because I wouldn't have believed him if he hadn't had the text messages to show me where he has multiple people asking him this question. I think, did you do like a question and answer thing on your other YouTube page?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like his most asked, most common question. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, what? I don't get it. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where else to go with that, but I guess for us, the answer is yes. But, I just want to challenge people to not put people with a disability in a box. I don't know if maybe you guys are thinking those who struggle to walk or have ambulatory issues, maybe that they aren't able to have sex. But if you guys recall, well, you know what? I'm not going to even go there because that's none of my business. But we have had guests on the show who have been transparent with us that they are able to have sex. I know you know what I'm talking about, but that's not my place. But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to get to is, if you are actively dating, getting to know someone, seeking a serious relationship with someone who has a disability, then obviously, that is a conversation that needs to happen in the right setting, in the right place. And that's totally fine. I think there's a time and a place where that is appropriate. But, for those who are curious or who have asked me and Brandon, first of all, I'm married to Brandon Thomas, nobody else. So I just don't understand why that matters other than just, curiosity or whatnot. But this my husband, you know what I mean? Like, that's all me. So whether or not we can have sex or even reproduce, because I think that's the real question. I don't think people really want to know, oh, do you and your husband have sex? I mean, if y'all do, y'all weird as hell. But I think the real question people want to know is, can you reproduce? And again, that is between me and my husband. That's our business. My uterus. Don't worry about it. But if you're dating someone and that is a concern, then yes, in the appropriate setting, then you guys should have that conversation. But please do not assume or, choose not to date someone because you think that they cannot have sex or that they cannot please you, because that's just not true.
I can't think of a time where I kind of talked to a friend that had a certain disability, and she was saying that she really couldn't feel it, but that didn't stop her.
Well, I mean, there's varying levels of sex. Sex is not all physical. And I know it's probably like, well, what do you mean? Like, obviously, it's a physical act. It is. However, I believe that sex is also intellectual. It's a mind thing. It's an emotion thing. You know, there's so many levels to sex. And I think you just have to take the time to get to know your partner and what works for them. So,
I agree.
yeah.
While we're on this topic of questions, I think another question that we got or I got was why are disabled people always mad? And I don't know. I think I'm furthest from the maddest person. I may not talk much. I may not, laugh or, but that's just the shell that's built up around me. Like, I don't laugh with everybody. I don't play with everybody. I don't talk to everybody because I feel like people judge, and without knowing me. So like we spoke about in a previous interview, you just gotta knock my shell off, and then I'll come out and you'll get to talk to me. I'm not always mad. I don't even think I really know how to be mad. I'm mad for a quick second, and then I'm right back to goofy old silly Brandon.
I was just about to say you're very goofy, but you're right. I think people with disabilities, I was gonna say disabilities, are labeled as angry or upset or easily agitated, irritated, whatever. And we kind of talked about that with the whole Germany situation. You know, you saying, hey, I don't want to be labeled as not only the black guy, but the angry black disabled guy. I just don't think that's true. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who, like you said, could be having a bad day just like anybody else, and there are things about their life that are frustrating. And yeah, you may catch them on a bad day, but anybody has a bad day, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I do think sometimes typical people ask or say or do stupid stuff when it comes to people who have a disability or who just don't look, think, walk, act like them. That can be aggravating. And I think sometimes y'all just may not have the filter for the bull. You know what I mean? Like if someone's constantly discriminating against you or, just saying stupid shit like, can you have sex to you on a daily basis? You just may encounter me on that day where I'm so tired of this stupid ass question to where, no, I don't have a filter to be nice about it or, excuse your BS. And yes, you may catch me where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it to you today because I'm tired. Yeah. I think that's more so what happens. The reason people label those with disabilities are as angry or whatever.
Right. I mean, I would agree. Also, I think, I just, like you said, normal people have bad days and sometimes you just catch me on a bad day, fuck around and find out.
But you know what? This situation just popped up in my mind. I think sometimes, and I could be wrong, I'm only going to speak for this situation, but I do think sometimes those with disabilities, deal with things on a daily basis that are more frustrating than the typical person. So I remember I was helping a new hire at my job. She was deaf, and we support those with hearing issues at my job. We hire a lot of people who have hearing impairments. And so someone she knew told her that she'd be in a specific department. There were a lot of other people in the deaf community in that department. She have a ton of support. She have a translator, all those things. So when she got to the job, there were a few changes in our needs. And so she didn't end up going to the department that she had been told about. And so she was, I think the best way to describe it was frustrated, maybe even a little scared. And so we were kind of talking through what that looked like and her being in another department. And angry isn't the word, but she was very frustrated. Like she cried. She felt defeated, I guess is the word. And so we talked through like, what is this emotion that you're feeling? What's your concern? And her thing was that it was a communication barrier between she and I. And so that's what she was concerned about going into this other department. I'm her HR specialist trying to help her through the situation, and she's having a communication barrier with me. Her going into her department with people who may not be as educated about those with disabilities. I think that was a little bit scary for her. So I can see how emotions in certain situations may be expressed a little bit differently, or just the frustration. Like typical people aren't having to worry about, oh, I'm starting a new job and maybe not going where I'm supposed to go. Okay, yeah, that's difficult and it can be frustrating, but they may not cry about it or be upset to that level, but they're also not having to worry about communication barriers, being discriminated against, being judged, hell, not being safe, because I work in a warehouse. If hearing is a very important thing in a warehouse, you need to hear when heavy equipment is coming by, you know what I mean? But I don't think that warrants her for being labeled as difficult to work with or angry or things of that nature. She had legit reason to be frustrated.
I mean, and I don't think all of us are like that. I mean,
No.
if you give me a job, but then 9 times out of 10, I know what I signed up for. So if I can do it, then I'm gonna do it. If I can't, then I'm just not gonna show up, or I'm gonna leave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't have time to argue with you about, your job and what you expecting, or just be mad. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be pissed off, but I'm gonna be pissed off over there. I'm never gonna let you see that you won. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's varying levels of disability again. So like in your situation, okay, for you, being moved to a different department may not be as earth shattering as it is for her, because you can communicate your needs.
But it can be like, I worked at Dollar General once, and they told me I was going to be stocking, which I was, but when I was stocking, I ended up stocking like baby food, and the damn baby food kept dropping. So I'm breaking glass or whatever, and that's nobody else's fault, but I mean, I'm gonna go on break and I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that's not the right thing to do, but
Right.
I'm not finna sit here and make myself even look more, more crazy or whatever, more disabled. Like I told y'all once, y'all hear all this baby food breaking, so hey, I'm out of here.
I'm not laughing at that because it's funny, but I'm laughing at it because of you. Like, I can see you doing that. But again, that's something that someone may say, oh, well, he walked off on the job. All he had to do was, but they're not in your shoes to understand what that felt like. So I guess that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
like in her
yeah.
situation, I cannot imagine having a communication barrier.
Yeah.
Like, there's varying levels of disability, but to not be able to communicate my need and to think that I was going to be surrounded by others who truly understand and can help me communicate, I could see how that could be extremely frustrating. Especially, this is during COVID. Like, people need a job, people need money, and if the last thing, it's different. I don't want to say it's different, but you may be needing a physical accommodation can be different from an accommodation where it's affecting your learning, like a learning disability.
Gotcha.
Because that goes into training, that goes into just simply saying like, I'm about to pass out, you know what I mean, type thing.
Yep. But that's pretty much it. I just would just suggest to people, don't put us all in one box. We can. Well, I'm not, if I'm mad at, and another thing, like, I'm never mad at my situation. Like, if anything, I think God gave me spina bifida for a reason. I don't ever really get mad at this because it is what it is. I think I know how to maneuver with it, so I can even really imagine life without it. So I'm not mad. I'm never mad at my situation. I'm never like, oh, they can do it or I can't do it, so I'm pissed off. It don't work like that. I find a way to do it, and if I can't, then shit, I'm out.
Right.
Yeah. That's my solution to it.
With that being said, I just also want to just kind of reiterate that Brennan and I are an open book. We want y'all to ask questions because you're educated when you ask questions.
Don't ask us, can we have sex? Like, I'm so over that
Thank
question.
you.
Please,
That's what I was about to
ask me anything else other than can we have sex?
That's what I was about to get at. Like, you can ask us anything. We are an open book, but don't ask us, can we have sex? And just don't ask us no dumbass questions. Like, really think about what you're saying when you come to me, because I done told y'all on another podcast, if you act stupid and ignorant, my husband gonna go ignorant with you, and I'm not gonna do nothing but sit there and look pretty. So I think that's a good wrap up.
All right, y'all. So let us know what y'all want us to talk about. Give us some ideas, give some topics. It don't even have to be disability related. It could be just just something. Hell, we could talk about Will smacking
oh my God.
Chris Rock, whatever. Like,
do y'all
whatever.
know that was an interview question for me? I walked into my last and final interview. I got the job, by the way. Hey, give me a hand clap. Give me that hand clap. Let me get that hand clap. But I came in for a third interview, and the only question was, Will or Chris. Which I played the fifth.
Who did you go? You played the fifth?
I played the fifth.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm down with Will. Talk about my wife and you gonna see me.
Period.
I'm pulling up.
Period. We need that type of energy all 2022.
But DT, BT, TV.
BT, DT.
That's what I said.
You said DT.
Oh, I'm sorry. BT TV, BT DT TV on YouTube and Instagram.
Correct.
And I think that wraps it up.
Peace.
Peace.